I was born in the summer with a head full of rain. Just like my mother, there's a storm in my veins. And I'll always remember the way she called my name. It sounded like thunder rolling across the plains, and I can hear it coming again. I can hear it coming again. Like heat lightning in the dead of night. Well, I was screaming, crying from that look in your eyes, and now I know I keep on trying to find you out in the sky. By the sound that it made, you were already gone for miles. We were boarding up windows in the basement again. Should've known it was coming from the pressure in my head. Even now, I still feel you in the back-breaking wind. The sound of glass crashing in the room still spinning, and I can hear it coming again. I can hear it coming again. Like heat lightning in the dead of night. Well, I was screaming, crying from that look in your eyes, and now I know I keep on trying to find you out in the sky. By the sound that it made, you were already gone for miles. And I can feel a storm coming in. And I can feel a storm coming in. I can feel a storm coming in. I can feel a storm coming in. Like heat lightning in the dead of night. Well, I was screaming, crying from that look in your eyes, and now I know I keep on trying to find you out in the sky. By the sound that it made, you were already gone. And by the sound that it made, you were already gone for miles.
Okay, my name is Dan Hosh. We are at my studio in Toronto, Double Car Recording Company, and I'm here with one of my favorite songwriters, Alex Mason.
Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. Okay, so I started TAPEish for two reasons. Reason one being that I could combine my love for cassette recording using big, beautiful ribbon microphones with my love for Super 8 cameras and shooting film on 35 millimeter, use a bunch of analog cameras, you know, that whole thing. So gear is reason one. Reason two is that when I am producing a record with an artist, we are usually like day one, I'm sitting on a couch 2 feet in front of them and they're playing songs at me. Usually really stripped down, acoustic guitar, vocal, that kind of thing. And that is such, well, usually what we're doing is we're thinking about like, oh, how are we going to add drums to this or fill out the production in, you know, whatever way. But there's something so magical about listening to an artist play songs in front of you, and you just hear it in its rawest form. And the first time we met, I think, was in like a songwriting session.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, like actually met. And I felt like you gave me chills just like playing. Like I don't even think you're just like playing songs for me.
That's nice.
And when I decided to do this, I was like, you have to be on TAPEish. And
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's nice to be here. This is a beautiful SM58 I'm speaking into right now. For all the audiophiles out there.
I told you, big, beautiful ribbon microphones.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay, so Heat Lightning, you just played it for us. It sounds incredible.
Thanks.
Tell me about it. It's on your new record.
So it's on my new record, Breaking the Blue Sky. It's going to be coming out in November. And the song came from a really specific memory I had. A lot of the songs from this album are about my mom. She passed away in 2019. And I think, like, Flannery O'Connor said once that, like, by the age of 20, you have enough memories to write about for your entire lifetime. And I agree with that. And this song came from a specific memory of, like, looking out my window, like my bedroom window, and being, like, nervous because there was, like, a storm coming. And can you tell I've always had anxiety for my entire life? And my mom saying that you could count the seconds between the thunder and the lightning to tell how far it was. So after she passed, like, that memory sort of came back to me, because a lot of people have, like, experienced loss, probably are aware of. You kind of have this, like, you're in this, like, foggy state for the first, like, year or so after a really traumatic loss. And when you come out of it, you start to remember all these things. Like, you feel like you're coming back online. And that was one of the things that came to me. So the song sort of sprouted out of that memory of feeling like the storm is coming. And as, you know, cliche as that can sound, like, I feel like there's so many ways to come at a metaphor. And that one came from the sort of joint of that experience.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. What came first? Like, did the lyrics come first?
Yes. So I always feel like people don't talk about this, because when they say, like, a song is about this, what they mean is, like, it's maybe the seed of it came from that, but it's always like a composite of a bunch of things.
Sure.
And Elvis Costello says that in his book on writing, and I feel like it's really true. So the first part that really came was the chorus, and that just the lyrics go like, heat lightning in the dead of night, and I was I can't think of my own lyrics. Regardless, we can cut that. So the chorus came because I was having this, like, series of, like, crazy nightmares. Like, I had, like, bad insomnia for, like, a couple of years after losing my mom. And so I would often just, like, wake up in the middle of the night with this, like, sense of, like, intense terror and anxiety. And so the chorus came from that, and I was just messing around. And a lot of the times when I'm writing, if I feel like I haven't written a certain chord progression before, sometimes a whole song will just come out of that. Like, I'd never written, because a lot of the songs on this album came from, like, I was writing in D. So I had, like, open D and stuff. And then when I was playing the songs with my band, we were shedding them. They were like, I think you have a lot of songs in D on this album. I think we need some other keys. So I was like, well, I don't think I've ever written in G, ever. Right. And so I literally was just messing around with that. And, like, that's how the song came together, was like this, the newness of playing in this key that I don't normally play in. And then the chorus came out, and then I had to fit the verses in afterwards. So it's sort of like the chorus was like trust for the house, you know, and then painted it with all of the verses.
trying to build a ship in this bottle. Only trouble is I can't seem to swallow that last little drop to make it empty enough to fit. One piece at a time is all that they say. No boats clear on Sunday, right into the waves. Now I'm far from shore, and all that they say is drowned out by the ocean spray. Now I'm drunk on a Tuesday, but I swear I'm trying. It's just living through this. Feels like I'm dying. I'm trying to find my way out. For every silver lining, there's still a cloud. They say you can drown the inches of water. I'm not trying to stay down, just hold my head under. There's some kind of release when I come up again. I just don't know how long I can keep this going. Now I'm drunk on a Tuesday, but I swear I'm trying. It's just living through this. Feels like I'm dying. I'm trying to find my way out. For every silver lining, there's still a cloud. Tuesday, but I swear I'm trying. It's just living through this. Feels like I'm dying. I'm trying to find my way out. For every silver lining, there's still a cloud.
And it felt like Tom Waits says, like, don't plant your bad days, they grow into bad weeks, bad months. Like, that was the feeling I was in when I wrote that song. And that chorus line is like, for every silver lining, there's still a cloud. And like, that was very representative of my mental state at the time. It was like, even in the, it's supposed to be like, for every cloud, there's a silver lining, but it shows like when your perspective is so negative that you can even flip things the other way, you know, and see the bad in everything. And
It's honestly, it's an incredible lyric.
Thanks.
Truly.
Thanks.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that was where that came out of. I remember sitting on my couch in our old apartment in the Junction, and I think Jessie was taking a shower, and I was playing it, and she's like, "What is that song?" And it's one of those moments where I think if you catch someone's ear without them knowing it, you feel like you have something, you know. So
Your previous record, Goes to the Great Lakes, your first full length.
yeah.
How was the process of making that different than the new record that's coming out?
So the first album, I feel like every artist experiences this, where they're like, I want to do everything ever. Like, I want strings on this, and I want to have 4 drum tracks, and I want to have some weird, stupid noisemakers for this thing, and I want to throw in this sample of this. It's like, it was like that, because I feel like when you have this opportunity to make a first full-length album, like, I was obsessed with albums growing up. You know, it was like one of those kids that would be sitting on the floor with like CDs and like looking through all of the artwork and everything for hours and hours, just like memorizing things and poring over them. The album as a process was so important to me that I wanted to make the record that if I never got to make another record again, this was it, you know? And for the most part, I feel like I really did that. Like, my friend Jill did strings on the whole album, and I got all these amazing lush textures, and it was incredible. And as I feel like musicians also understand, sometimes you go to play those songs live and they don't have this part or they don't have that part. And I really love playing with my band. They're so incredible. And like, wanting to be able to do things in that format as a 4-piece band was so important to me. Like, I love how stripped back, like, I love how huge and small a band can be sound, you know what I mean, without having a keyboard player and without all these other things, like just the regular like guitar, bass, drums, vocals sound. So that being said, like, after I got to do this really orchestral, full sounding first record, I was like, I had intentionally wanted to strip things back. I wanted it to be more streamlined and really only incorporate elements that I could recreate live. Especially as a singer-songwriter, because most of the songs I'm sitting in my room just playing on my own anyways, or if I'm like touring or playing out somewhere, I'm gonna be probably playing acoustic or with some accompaniment. So that being said, there are still some keyboards and subtle things going on, but it came out of this deliberate desire to want to do something that was super straightforward and more stripped back than normal. So yeah, that was the idea for the record, I think.
I was driving through the flows, past the ice fields, Athabasca roads, saw the mountains at my side, saw the rivers frozen in time. It was you then, you were on my mind, like the sky never far behind, and the sun then, it was blinding too. Every year I felt myself losing you. If I never took the time to say I love you, it was only 'cause it hurt too much to speak. Like a glacier broken somewhere in the Arctic, there was always so much hidden underneath. My old teacher, what can I say? No word or spirit bring back the days of all things spent and all things past. Must remain still, they can't come back. I thought that all things must have roots, and it brought me back to you. If I never took the time to say I love you, it was only 'cause it hurt too much to speak. Like a glacier broken somewhere in the Arctic, there was always so much hidden underneath. If I never took the time to say I love you. It was only 'cause it hurt too much to speak. Like a glacier broken somewhere in the Arctic, there was always so much hidden underneath. If I never took the time to say I love you, it was only 'cause it hurt too much to speak. Like a glacier broken somewhere in the Arctic, there was always so much hidden underneath.
Glaciers. Let's talk Glaciers.
Okay. So another thing where like tuning, like I discovered, as every songwriter goes through this period, I discovered Open D, incredible. I'm the first person ever. And that came, and again, like a lot of the subject matter with this album is definitely about my mom. And this song was sort of like a conversation between me and her, like a conversation we never got to have, that sort of thing. Because especially if you've ever dealt with somebody in your life where you're sort of, you may feel like your relationship is not super healthy, you have to take a step back. And it creates that space and distance. And in that space and distance, you don't always get to say the things that you need to say at that time. So that song came out of that, married with this experience I had when I was on tour for my second EP, Jasper. Anyways, we were driving north and we were going through like the ice fields in Athabasca, and I remember having this, like, that experience just stuck so intensely in my mind. And one of the things that the tour guide said, they were talking about how the glacier has like started to melt there. So it's not the sheets, like the big glacier there, are not as big as they used to be because of climate change.
Right.
So this idea of like climate change, things eroding and coming away, like that became the metaphor for losing someone and feeling estranged from them and not feeling connected. Like you're sort of like losing touch with nature. So yeah, and with the help of Open D, of course.
And how did it start? How did that song start? Like, is it? Are you ever playing guitar?
Oh yeah,
Okay,
almost
okay.
all the time.
Okay.
It's like I'm just fucking around. And wait, can we swear? Are we allowed to swear? We're on live TV. Okay. I'm like in my room, like messing around, and usually just like, playing chords and stuff. And that one, because I had already started writing some other songs in Open D on this album that I felt good about, it sort of created a through line. I was like, okay, I want to experiment, see what other chords sound like in this tuning. Because I think the first song in Open D I ever learned was by Glenn Hansard, and that gave me all of like the minor and major shapes. And I think it's called Stay the Road, but anyways, my memory shit today. But so after learning the minor and major shapes that I could just basically transpose all up and down the neck, I started to just like mess around with Open D all the time. I'd have my guitar out and just leave one of them in Open D,
Right.
and I'd pick it up and then see if something came out. Like Chris Caraba from Dashboard Confessional said that, where it's like, sometimes you pick up a guitar and for whatever reason, the G or the D chord sounds different that day. And that's how I feel. Like that day I was just playing the open notes. Actually, I think I might have written it on a buddy's old Epiphone Casino, because those are like,
right, yeah.
those are so resonant and open sounding. And I remember standing, my wife and I were living with her mom at the time, and I was like in their basement, and I was just like playing these really open resonant notes. And I think I might have even been unplugged, and I took like a voice note right away, because as everybody does, like I've always got my phone on me, turn on the voice notes, and a lot of the time I will literally hit record and just start playing if I feel like I maybe have something on the line.
Sure. Yeah.
So yeah, and that was one of those where I just started playing the chords, and I was like, I had the first lyrics, like I was driving through the flows, and I was like, okay, cool, this could be something. And then I'll just kind of do gobbledygook for the rest of the song. And then I shedded the chorus a few times, and I was like, okay, I need to tighten up the lyric here, and then it started to come together. But I feel like it will lead itself naturally where it wants to go. So